Hi, I am Amira Kibir, an applied mathematician and a mathematical modeler from Tunisia. So here we will work on an equation or a model for African women empowerment in science. In fact, as a modeler, I'm seeing models and mathematical models for any kind of problems that we can have. So let's write a possible model or an equation for African women empowerment in science. Why we want to do that? We want to increase the number of women in science and that can get access to leadership. So for that, let's assume W, the number of African women in science. So the number of women, we want to increase the number of women according to their position, which means which country and where they are, and according to the time, knowing that the position depends on time. And I think that to increase this number, it must be a function of opportunity because with opportunity, women can work on their science and then develop and evaluate, and visibility, because with visibility and as they are increasing their visibility, they can get to leadership position. Thank you.
I don't know. I will say that if I want to come to this world again, I should come like a man. I don't know. Because it's really difficult as a woman to struggle with research in Africa. It's very, very difficult because of, as I said, the sociocultural rules of men and women in this. The women, the bulk of the work in the family is rested on women. As an African woman, you must, in fact, even in the church, the priest will preach and tell you that even if you're a professor woman, you have to take care of your home, take care of your husband, take care of your children, maybe your in-laws. You know, those things, childbearing is on you alone. The husband, very few, very few, I can say 2% of women, of men. And some of these men that even pity their wives a little to help them, are some of them that have gone out of Africa and come back, and I've seen how other people in other places are doing things. I'm working with my husband in the same university. Both of us go out in the morning. He's a professor already. And sometimes I used to tell him, please, let me also be a professor. Why can't you help school? We'll come back together. He sits in the sitting room. I'll go to the kitchen and look for food. I bring to him. He will eat. I remove the plates. I go and keep them and wash the dishes. He washes his television and he goes to bed. So it's really, really challenging for a woman.
For a woman, your biological clock and your career clock, they're going this way. That's the way I see it.
How do you think, or how are you coping with being a mother and a scientist at the same time?
Not easy. It was not easy for me. Before I had my first child, I thought I could not stop to have a child now because laboratory requires so much time.
So much
all
time.
All my time. Where am I gonna get time to have a child? But I wanted to have a child. Because for me, that was very important. I wanted to be a mother.
That was the evidence of after marriage, the evidence. Yes.
I wanted to be a mother. So I had a child. I was very much in love with my child. And for first time, it was a fight. I wanted to be with my child, but I needed to keep working. A fight. For me, it was a fight for a long time.
My case was,
How was your case?
I started having children during my PhD
Good.
in London. So I wasn't home, and I married when I got to London. So I started doing my babies with my PhD work.
Okay.
And my work was between doing research also. My field work was in the Gambia. So I was shuttling between Gambia.
London.
My husband was in Glasgow. So I was shuttling between London, Gambia, Glasgow, London, Gambia, Glasgow. And I have never given birth before. And I had this long stomach. And I have to do my science because I came there to do a PhD.
To do science?
A PhD, so I had to do that. And then I was a bit, sometimes I feel cheated because my husband was doing his own. He was also doing his PhD then.
Yes,
So he was just doing his work. And for me,
Was more difficult.
I had to take a break
Yeah.
within my studies to come and deliver my baby. And then after that, go back. So he finished his PhD before me. And then you have situations whereby sometimes when you think you need him to do something and it's like, you are disturbing me. And then you think that I have stopped my PhD. I have stopped to be a mother for some time. And if I need you to help me do something, and you are saying how disturbing my work, it was very, very kind of...
I think that is the
felt
reason why
cheating.
we need our men to listen.
Listen to us.
Because the job of
Being a
being
mother.
a mother is
and
not
doing
easy, and
it
coping
is.
with science is
Yeah,
not easy.
It's not easy at all.
Men don't like to stay with all those little children because they cry a
They
lot
cry.
and they are
Yeah.
very irritated by those cries.
Because I remember when I was going to come, and I was like, I'm going for 6 months. Like, are you going for all the 6 months?
Or you
at
want to
time,
break it?
Or do you want to break it into bits? And I said, no. I just want to go and
For 6
finish my
months.
work. And then I'll come back. And then my 9-year-old son looked at me because I leave them to go for science meetings, maybe 2 weeks. So she is used for, mommy goes 2 weeks
2
and she's
weeks.
back and she brings me what I want.
Yes, presents. Yes.
So when he had 6 months, then he came and was looking at me, Mom, did you say 6 months? I said, yes, 6 months. Oh, Mom, who would I talk to? Talking? WhatsApp, we can do video talk. Then he said, no, I'm here, I need you here. I said, no.
That is
it's
it.
time, Mom has to go this time. Mom has been with you all
along.
Now it's Mom's time.
My name is Flora Stefano. I'm 41 years old. I'm married with 2 children, a son and a daughter. I come from Tanzania. I'm employed at the University of Dar es Salaam, Department of Zoology and Wildlife Conservation, where I work as a lecturer for vertebrate anatomy and physiology. At the moment, I'm here at the Institute of Neuroscience in Alicante, where I use Drosophila melanogaster. These are commonly known as fruit flies, and I use them as a model to study the molecular mechanism of Parkinson's disease. When I left my country to go to Germany to study my PhD, I had already 2 children. One was around 8 years, and another one was 2 years. My daughter was 2 years. That was the moment which I really felt that it was hard to leave my 2 years old to go to Germany. But anyway, sometimes in life you have to sacrifice. So, and I was happy because I managed to do that because also my husband was very supportive, taking care of the family. And I had some extended family, like my mother-in-law was also came to my house to help. Yeah, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Sometimes you really feel that, oh, maybe I should leave this and go home. But when you think on the other way, okay, if I go home and what is next, because I'm doing this for them.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Samia Umar, an associate research professor at the Tropical Medicine Research Institute, Khartoum, Sudan. My specialization is immunology, particularly immunology of infectious diseases I'm very happy that I am at Valibron Research Institute and Valibron Hospital. I'm doing research in infectious diseases in general, tropical diseases particularly, but for this part of the project, I'm doing research in malaria during pregnancy or infection of pregnant women with malaria. And this infection has a very serious effect on the pregnant women, on the fetus, and the newborn. That it affects the mother and it can end up with mortality.
My name is Nancy Kwashi and currently doing research at the Instituto de Salud Carlos de Terro. Looking at, it's more like problem solving because of where we find ourselves. We have so many health issues when it comes to all the tropical diseases, malaria, trypanosomiasis, onchocerciasis. All the very serious diseases are in Africa. So the scientists, the women scientists in Africa is about how do we help our children? How do we get them to survive? Because these diseases are mainly prone in children, they kill children. So our research is more focused, like if you are doing health research like me, about 40% of the OPD attendance is malaria, and it's children, indeed. It kills them. Those that are brought in later die. So we are all looking at what do we have to quickly do for them so that they can survive. And I would say that our work is also helped by the North and the West, because they kind of discover things and we can also pick it up and look for it in our children and try to help them. It's about helping with the issues in our environment more than just about publishing. Even if you are publishing your articles out there, you are making sure that it's having impact on the health of the children in Africa. Yeah.
Normalmente las investigadores, sobre todo mujeres, ya sea tanto en Latinoamérica como en África, tratan de desarrollar líneas de investigación que sean muy aplicadas, como es el caso de Abir. Abir está desarrollando un filtro para limpiar las aguas de riego. Es cierto que también en los países del primer mundo, tanto en Europa como en Estados Unidos y Japón, a veces tenemos líneas de investigación, yo misma las tengo, donde no hay una aplicación concreta. O sea que esto para nosotros, esta forma, digamos, de relacionarnos es muy positiva, porque nosotros tenemos mucho conocimiento de investigación básica que podemos combinar con ideas para poder hacer aplicaciones concretas.
Hola, soy Hedi Atnani, soy doctora en biología molecular. Soy tunecina, vengo del Instituto, de Pasteur Institute of Tunis, Instituto Pasteur de Túnez, donde soy postdoc, y gracias a la beca Mujeres por África estoy aquí en el CRG, que es el Centro de Regulación Genómica, donde estoy estudiando para descubrir como drug targets para la enfermedad de Leishmania. Es una enfermedad que se llama neglected diseases, que es solo una enfermedad para los pobres y que no había como un medicamento que sea barato, efectivo y que no sea tóxico.
Sí, de hecho es una enfermedad que yo desconocía antes.
No hay muchos fondos de investigación, no han dado la oportunidad a investigadores de investigar en este campo para cómo encontrar nuevos medicamentos.
Hello, I'm Raquel Duarte. I'm from the Department of Internal Medicine at the University of Witwatersrand in Johannesburg, South Africa. I head the research laboratory at the Department of Internal Medicine at the University of the Witwatersrand. As a molecular biologist, we work with RNA, DNA and protein. And the field that we're in is we're trying to discover, make scientific breakthroughs that we can apply to diseases in the real world. And that's how we can treat those diseases. And in South Africa, we're very, very concerned about treating diseases that are endemic in our country. So Africa's got to be ready to handle those diseases and how you treat them. So we're very concerned about what the spectrum of disease is in Africa, what's the molecular basis of that disease, And then how are we going to treat it? How are we going to improve the lives of people?
The research that she's doing is very close to the reality of women in South Africa, and the health, a real health problem of women in South Africa. And so it is an additional value that she brings to the research that we are doing, and that we were not really aware of this until she came.
My name is Hannah Zbach, and I am from Morocco. I have 2 PhD degrees, one from the University of Abdel Malik Saadi in Tétouan, Morocco, in biology. And last month, I have obtained my second PhD degree from the University of Seville here in Spain in pharmacy. My biggest dream is to discover new drugs from marine algae to treat cancer. As we can see, this is the cells treated with the algal extracts, and we can see that the extracts can kill the cancer cells.
I am Jane Bolecha from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. I'm actually working here on gender dynamics, on investment, on climate-smart agricultural technologies among rural households in Nigeria. I want to know whether there are any changes in the dynamics as respect to gender based on the sociocultural roles of men and women. Have they changed? Because initially, women are so much suppressed. And with the event of climate change and the impact of climate change that is sitting on everybody, are these things still the same in the household? Because I'm looking at the husband and wife in the same household that are all involved in agricultural activities.
Hello, my name is Sarah Mwangi. I'm from Nakuru, Kenya, and I work at the University of Pretoria. I'm a bioinformatics scientist. What we do in the lab in South Africa, we are looking at how avocados are able to resist infection by a pathogen known as Phytophthora cinnamomai. It's one of the most devastating pathogens for avocado orchids in South Africa.
When you want to be a scientist, that means you are aware of problems that surround you and you want to bring some kind of solution. This is the idea.
In European project, it looks like we want to save the world, Yeah. So let's try to change, to combat climate change and something like that. Probably the people doesn't understand completely. But in your case, your project is very, very local project, because the idea is to, okay, I have here a feedstock that comes from the agriculture. It's a problem that I have. So I want to use this material that I can collect in my town, in my garden. I want to use to feed microorganisms to produce plastic.
My name is Temitope Ujolakwe. I'm doing a research here to engineer some bacillus strains which are previously identified and isolated from Nigeria for sustainable production of the PHA. So the PHA, like I said, they're biodegradable polymers that can be used in bioplastic production. So they are considered alternatives to synthetic polymers.
One of the most interesting things that I found working with Agnes was, as I said before, how quick she has translated the kind of paradigms we use in our research to address their local problems.
My name is Agnes Nakakawa. I come from Uganda, and I'm a lecturer there in the College of Computing and Information Sciences at Makerere University. As a computing professional, I had to find a way in which to benefit from this fellowship using my computing expertise. And the best way was to adopt my methods of excellence into problems associated with chronic diseases. So I am from the background of using soft systems methodology, using methods that push people into thinking, and architectures of organization, of business, of aligning business processes with IT. So I had to find a way. How can we align the processes involved in caring for patients with multiple chronic conditions with technologies?
I'm Leontine Kamba. I'm coming from Cameroon. I'm here like a visiting professor at Dostotech, where I'm doing research. I'm a mathematician, but I'm dealing with propagation of infectious diseases. So I'm doing mathematical modeling of infectious diseases. And here in Bilbao, I'm trying to go on this research. I'm trying to go inside. And I have, my main project is to study the propagation of meningitis, because my country, the north part, is in the, we have something called Africa belt of meningitis. So it's begin to Gambia and finish to Ethiopia. And the north part of Cameroon inside. And in this part of Cameroon, we have a lot of epidemic of meningitis.
In developed countries in Western Europe in particular, we do the mathematics we like, right? We are working at university. Some people prefer more applied mathematics, some others prefer more theoretical mathematics, some others like the interaction of mathematics with computer sciences. But something I like very much from countries like Cameroon in Sub-Saharan Africa, where Leontine is working, is that their focus in mathematics is much more oriented to the real needs of society. Something that really matters in developing countries, and often in that respect, women have much, a better intuition, a better criterion, is when choosing topics that really matter, that really have an impact on, on the quality of life. Topics related with health, topics related with sustainable growth, topics related with environment. And this is why, for instance, one of the fields that Leontine is working while in here is to match, to build an interface between climate change and, say, the evolution of diseases. The way these diseases propagate is also changing.
As you know, in Africa and many other countries as well, the resources for research are very low. But the talent Africans have are very high. So one way to overcome the money issue and to use the talent of Africa is to use a very cheap model. And Drosophila can provide this model. So Dros Africa, what it's doing, this team of persons is going to Africa every year to the universities and teach researchers how to use this model. And last year we built this African association of Drosophilists. So we're trying to get people from every country in Africa, but we didn't have anybody from Tanzania. So, and suddenly Flora appears here, and she has a lot of talent and all this excitement, trying to do a lot of experiments and all this passion for science. So she's the perfect person to be in charge of this organization in Tanzania.
Being here in Spain, it was also a great opportunity for me to explore some more new things which I didn't have seen before. For example, I had a chance to visit Barcelona. I went to see this amazing architecture of Gaudi architecture, which for me it was really amazing, and I appreciate that. And also I had a chance, because I like football, I went to the Barcelona Stadium. I like it and enjoy it.
I am Dr. Mary Bio Mudiro. I'm an associate professor of analytical environmental chemistry from University of Ibadan. Currently, I am at Material Physics Center, San Sebastian, Spain, to do some research on geopolymers. In Nigeria, we have been using kaolin clay, which we have in abundance in Nigeria, to produce geopolymers. And in this material, we have a mineral called kaolinite, which is one of the minerals that is used for production of geopolymer. But in Nigeria, we don't have some facilities that are required to characterize geopolymer samples after preparation. So I contacted Professor Dolado in this center for help, and he agreed to help, and that I should come over with our samples so that we can produce geopolymers and measure their properties.
In fact, it's very funny because geopolymers are very promising from an environmental point of view because they are apparently CO2 neutral. But the funny thing is that here in the so-called first world, we are mainly producing this sort of materials, or these cementitious materials, with fly ash mainly, which are byproducts and waste coming from thermoelectrical plants. But the funny thing is that when Mary contacted me, he was proposing something strictly different. Definitely this is something that is making a good impact in our lab, in fact, because it's affecting how we can see even the research in the future, or how we can try to employ the materials that are abundant in our neighborhood somehow, how we can try to do concrete in a more sustainable way. So it's really, I appreciate very much that it is this idea. It's a regular concrete. At the end is that you are creating ecological concrete. So you have plenty of applications, starting from mechanical applications, like construct everything, but also these particular concretes, they have good ability for storage in energy. So it's something that an application that we are exploring currently in the lab.
Soy Iman Rondi, soy médica marroquí y doctora en salud internacional.
Desde 2005 que estoy epidemióloga, me enfoqué sobre los niños. Y cuando ha salido el tema de la pandemia del COVID, quería saber lo que pasa en los niños y no encontré muchos datos. Hay muy pocos estudios sobre los niños, entonces yo necesitaba acceder a bases de datos, a estudios con relevancia, con fiabilidad, para poder responder a mi inquietud sobre cómo toca el COVID a los niños.
Pues Iman nos ha traído una inquietud nueva que no habíamos contemplado, que teníamos esos datos, pero no hay capacidad para explotar todos, y al tener este interés, pues también estamos haciendo cosas nuevas.
When I was young, I always wanted to be a doctor because it's something in the Sudanese. Everyone wants to be a doctor. And then I remember my father has a big influence, both parents, but he brought me one day a book. It's about Marie Curie, and it's the biography of her. I was fascinated by her life, although it's tough, but I was fascinated. So later I went to a college which is called Medical Laboratory Sciences, and all the time I want to work in the university in research. Yeah, all the time, it's like that.
The problem we have is not human capacity.
Oh, yes,
the problem we have remains resources.
Yes, oh.
So the level of resources that is available here, the fact that you think it, and all you need to do is just walk to a shelf or a fridge
and start.
And even if sometimes, let's say, the particular equipment you want to use is not within your lab group, it's within the institute.
Many people will say the problem we have is equipment. Funding is very, very important. Because if we have funding and we have equipment that we need for all these things, all we need is just to get the training on how to do them.
It's not because there is no clever people there. There is no money. Yeah, we are, let's say, developing countries. We don't have money to put it in science, let's say. We try the best we can as scientists to implement what we know, what we get from experiences in Europe, in our countries, back in our countries, because there is always a way. But I do what I can do, and then I found someone who I can collaborate with in Europe, in Spain, in everywhere, who can do something advanced.
Right now, science is expensive. The classical science is expensive. So it will give you to be competitive and to get the result faster. So money is really, really important.
In our country, even when I'm doing my PhD, I don't have a lot of resources, but I have to work. So we used to do a lot of things from nothing.
But I think we learn a lot when we don't have all the resources.
Yeah.
Because we learn how to create something new or other ways to do something. Or so.
You know, we have a proverb in Arabic. It said, "Need is the mother of knowledge." I don't know if you have the same expression or not, but need is the mother of knowledge.
We have it in Spanish.
Yeah.
La necesidad es la madre de todos los inventos.
Oh,
we have it. Same.
Okay. I'm Layla Saad. I'm a researcher. My field is renewable energy. Very specific is nanomaterials for solar cell and photovoltaic application. Now I have a grant. I'm a researcher in Dynasty International Physical Center, and I'm doing my researches by my host material physical center with a group of soft polymers. I think that sustainability and renewable energy is the future, because most of our resources are gone.
Science is, understanding the techniques, knowing the techniques is quite important. There is also the funding is a very huge constraint. Yeah. So now, getting back to Nigeria, understanding this new technique, I can apply for maybe some national grants or something. I can convince the management of my institute we need to get a fluorometer like the one you have here. We need to get equipment.
Every scientist is curious. I would like to know what's the advance and how we can do. I am here since 5 months almost. There is big differences since that 1 month ago and now, because I do a lot of things now, very advanced things. I'm surprised. It's just the money that makes this difference.
I remember that my colleagues in the class asked me, please, Latifa, don't ask because you would like to go. And when the class finished, I continue also asking questions. Why people call black, black, and red, red, and the blue is the blue? Why don't you call the blue red and the red is green or something like that? And it's really so late that I realized that this is the definition. And this is the beautiful thing in mathematics, that we define first what is the thing exactly we want to describe, and then we can do the whole theory. And this is what I like in mathematics, because the basic thing in math to understand anything is to understand the definition, to give first the definition of the thing you would like to understand. Coming from developing country, not only from Algeria, because I have discussed this problem with colleagues and fellowships coming from also developing country, from Africa, from Asia, etc. There is we came with a ticket, we are weak. So whatever we are doing, we are considered weak by the community, scientific community. They don't take any time to think about our capacity or what we can do. And this is really very hard from the starting. And it's like you have an obstacle already done, already ready for you. So we have to fight, to struggle a lot, to prove ourselves, and to prove that, yes, we can do research in the international level. In fact, there is a difference between the scientific levels in our countries and in developed countries. This is normal. But the exception exists everywhere. And as much as there are a lot of people supported in their countries, we are unsupported in our countries. But we are really doing against the whole our life, environment. And if we are here, if we could do something in international level, that means we have really paid a high price for our life, energy, etc., to be able to do that.
To be a woman in science, it's quite difficult.
Most of the time, they say that when you are doing science, you are not really a full woman.
We have received many people from other countries, especially European people, but also African, but I have never found no one from Nigeria before, never met Nigerian before, so, and never a woman. So tell me about how is to be a scientist woman in your country?
Okay, so I'll try to answer your question in a realistic Nigerian perspective. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay, it's fine.
Yeah. So first of all, it is not exactly easy to be an educated woman in my country.
Okay.
Neither is it exactly easy to be a woman in the field of science. nor is it easy to be a female scientist. Now, I suppose it's no news that the academia and by extension, the field of science is dominated by men. Yeah. So, I mean, you can clearly see that in the numbers. I mean, statistically in my country, there are only about 13% of female professors in STEM.
Wow.
You know, and I mean, this is actually a huge leap from where we were at a few years ago. And I mean, these also could be as a result of general societal stereotypes, which could be cultural, they could be religious, and they could also even be chauvinistic. Yeah. And you can see that clearly in the low career choices made by women, you know, to delve into the academia, or not even to talk of being scientists. Now we have this major problem, you know, in most African societies, which is the culture of silence. Yeah.
Oh.
Women, I mean, this culture is emphasized in the home, in schools, at workplaces, I mean, by religious institutions, and, you know, generally in the society. And women are either subconsciously groomed to be silent, or they are outrightly told to be silent. So you speak less, you act less, you do less. The less you do, the better a woman you are.
People don't look you like a simple woman, they look you like a strange animal or something like that. So they don't understand, because for them, only men can do this type of thing.
I had a comment from someone who told me, you were able to finish your PhD faster because you are a woman, so they favored you, you see. And that really made me think twice. So this person is saying that because I'm a woman, I cannot work hard and finish my PhD on time. But because I'm a woman, I was favored, and that is wrong. That is a very wrong picture that you find in these communities. Sometimes there are people who know that women can work hard, but there are still people in these communities where you find that they think women are not good enough to achieve something. And if you are not careful, those comments can actually bring you down. And some people have actually ended up leaving the field because they feel it is just too much of people making them feel that they cannot do it because they are women.
Our men support you. For example, your colleagues, your men colleagues in Tunisia or in Egypt, support your research, encouraging you, or you feel something else? Tell me about this experience, please.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
In my case, actually, in Egypt, I don't feel any discrimination, probably because I have a wonderful research group there. But I guess, men all the time support women and stands beside women all the time. Probably, as I told you before, probably we don't have the good opportunity to find the good work on industrial level. And that's basically comes from because the managers usually believe that the men probably they should work hardly. But I believe that women as well working very hard, and they are energetic, and they deserve to be trained, to be developed, to have the chance to be equal to the men as well.
In my case, I should thank the head of my laboratory in Tunisia, because he's supporting me in everything I am doing, even to do many trainings abroad, and he's trying to help me as much as he can with the facilities in our lab that we have. Concerning my colleagues, I just would say that I have a big respect with them, and of course some of them try sometimes to make some collaborations with me, and hopefully in future I hope to be able to do this cooperation. And then if I need help, I just ask the other people around my team. But I try always to keep a healthy, let's say,
relationship with everyone, and that's it.
For me, I hope that I can find the support I need in my research work, because sometimes I feel the support I get is not sufficient. It's not sufficient. I support myself until now.
Why do you believe in this?
Sometimes I feel competent.
Especially you have been working in Cairo University, which is very ranked.
Yes, Cairo University is very famous. But
and you have enormous amount, and you have enormous percent of men there.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they did not trust women in science.
Yeah. I agree. We have been encountering this problem
in very less number. They
the
are
age
not.
gap,
Yes, they are not too much people. They are minority that did not support women in science. They are very few numbers. They are very old, and I think this way of thinking will change by time when the women prove to them that it is really, she is really a good scientist, good researchers. She can do.
She's able, yes, she's able to do everything.
So it's not about whether men should listen to women. I think that almost dichotomizes the problem into them and us. I think that's not the way we want to approach the problem. I think all problems have inherently everybody being affected by the solutions. And if you look at the world's population, it's often half men and half women. So as long as we both listen to both sides, I think all solutions coming out of those efforts will be acceptable and applicable for the whole community, and not because one side defined the problem whose solution actually is going to affect everybody. So it's inherently, it's a team, it's we, not men and women.
I agree with you, but it doesn't always work like that. Especially in some African countries, when we go back to our traditions, where women don't have the right to talk, and when men are talking, they need to be quiet and to listen, to obey. So I think we need to make efforts to break this barrier, to make women feel comfortable talking to men, and to let the men also understand we have to work like a team. Yes. So that's my point.
I actually never thought I would be a scientist until I got to high school. Because when you are younger, your goals keeps shifting depending on who you're seeing at the moment. So sometimes you want to be a journalist because you see someone sitting behind the TV. When I was in nursery school, I used to be at the convent, so I wanted to be a nun. But then when I got into high school and I started doing biology, and I thought, like, I was very curious, and the stuff was interesting to me, like, how does the heart work? How do the kidneys work, you know, the brain?
I don't know if women will hear me, will agree with me or not, but because I'm not in that category, I can see. So some of the women, they are really much submissive, which is good, because you want your wife to be submissive to you, but they are submissive in such a way that they need every permission to do anything. So if you need permission maybe to stay late in the lab, you need permission to go to the conference, you need permission to go to field work, you can't do that. So maybe some people do not choose science because they know what will be in the future. Some stop working just because they are requested to stay at home. I know nowadays most of them are trying to be independent, but not all of them. The majority are not independent yet.
We are quiet. We do the science quietly, basically, yeah? So we don't go for leadership positions, or, you know, we just do the science quietly. So, I mean, we have a limit, in quotes, to what we can do.
We have a question. So when you are talking about this submissive role of the women in Tanzania, do you think that that's because cultural stuff, or there are some laws that should be changed? By law, the women have to be submissive, or is something that is cultural?
Yeah, culturally. The law in our country, everyone is equal. That's why even the voting, after we got independence, we didn't have this difference in voting. We voted right from the beginning when we got the independence. So everyone is equal to get the position, but it is just cultural things that women think that they can't do it. They can't do it. But the law is free for everyone. So this is just cultural thing.
And do you think it's a lack of preference to women in good positions or something like that, or is something that should be promoted in the schools, or how would you envision to change this, if you think that should be changed?
Yeah, I think in schools to teach women from the beginning to know their rights, from the schools to know their rights. And it is not just women, even the men themselves to know the rights of women, to remove this cultural thing, because this is the culture. The culture. A woman maybe can be understanding what I need to be free, but she will be afraid of the culture because other women will be like, oh, see, she's doing this, she's doing that, you know? So it is just the culture. So I think as we go, people will understand their rights and not afraid. And of course, the old generation will go and the new generation will come, but the problem is just the culture.
Corruption, bad things, it's like war. All time, the bad thing, the women, children are all time suffering for extra task other than others. And that is why, as women there, we suffer more than men. At least men can get money from the university, maybe once per year, or maybe 2 years once. But as women, it could be possible that for 5-6 years you cannot get. And that's it. I got a scholarship to go to France to do my PhD. 7 years I have been waiting. I have been struggling to get it. 7 years, it's already the time of 2 PhD. So you can see how the price, I paid 7 years of my life. And then I have done my PhD in 3 years, normal, like all people.
I must say, in the subject that I pursued, even at the university level, we were only like 20% of us who are women in that class. And even going further from my studies at MSc level, we were only, I think, 10% of us in that class. And PhD level, it becomes even leaner and leaner for women getting involved in science.
You cannot get in office, even. I have been in university where I spent 10 years having no office. I'm working in my car. If I have like free time between 2 times, I only stay in my car and prepare my things. Because if I said that I have no office, it's clear that I have no internet access, I have no computer, nothing.
Most people, or I would say back in the days, people didn't really think that women can be the leading scientists in the lab.
What about the balance between men and women? That here, you know, we are in our lab, we are 3 professors and, you know, many researchers working there. The 3 professors, 2 of us are women and we have 1 man. And between, you know, in the group of researchers, we have also, you know, almost, you know, a balanced group of women and men. What about in your place? Do you have also women and men in the balanced number?
Yeah. The same thing in Tunisia. Yeah, the same thing. Yeah, the same, generally the same number of women and men. I don't remark highest number for men, for example, than the number of women. It's equal.
And what about the head of labs? I mean, the head of lab can be a man or a woman. In our case, I'm a woman. Yeah. And what about in Tunisia? Do you have also women like head of labs, research lab, or?
I think the thing that I remark in Tunisia, for the head of the labs, generally there are men, more than women.
Okay.
For my specialty, computer science, the people that I know are men, not women.
Okay. And have you noticed any difference working with men in your country or here working with women as you have?
I don't remark any difference in the behavior of men and women. It's the same.
So leadership, everything.
No, it's the same. It's the same.
Okay, so when I was in university then, I think the heads of department were men. There were men, and lots of men in the headship. But gradually, because I'll say that I was the first head of department of epidemiology, a woman. I was the first one. Because all my predecessors are men. They've been men. So for me to be the first woman, and it's amazing that they were your friends, men were your friends. When you became their head, sometimes when you want to call for meetings and you want to get them, it's a problem. But I sailed through it. I sailed through it, encouraging them, because it's a male-dominated kind of, they've always seen a man, and all of a sudden they went to the office and it's now a woman sitting there. But it was an experience working with them, because they are all older men, so an experience. But I sailed through my 4 years of being the head of department, and it was good.
So, what about the situation of women here in Spain? What do you think about that?
Well, I have to say that theoretically we have the same opportunities as men, but then in the reality, I think that we are a little bit far from that dream, no? And still, because of many factors, we do not take the same responsibilities, and we don't have the same chances in our professional life. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it depends very much also on the family, as you, yeah,
sure,
on the countryside also. Mm-hmm. But still, I think that there's a long way that we have to run to achieve our objectives, no?
Yeah.
And this is a very much this is a very hot topic nowadays among us women and in children also. I think that girls they are very aware of these differences still, and they work towards decrease this gap, no?
Yeah.
Between.
Yeah.
Here, I'll start with here because I'm more impressed here. In the team here, there are a lot of women, and this is very encouraging, this is very interesting. If you look at the general population in Nigeria, at the university where I come from, you have much fewer women, both in the academics, research, and in administration.
I mean, when I started, in my generation, I have been the only woman in the whole department. And that's what I got a lot of problems to get office. But now, there are a lot. I guess there is no problems of gender equality in mathematics in Algeria.
30 years ago, it was bad. Yeah, women have babies and then they go on leave, and women go off to their husbands when the husband goes to another place. And I was the only female lecturer when I started 30 years ago, and women's opinion wasn't worth much at that time, but that has improved a lot. I am Marijke Labuskaghni. I'm from South Africa, from the University of the Free State in Bloemfontein in the Free State province. I'm a plant breeder, and I'm currently working in the Center for Sustainable Agriculture in Cordoba. We are looking at secondary facets of plant breeding. So we are looking at metabolites in plants and how we can genetically improve these. I always say women have to work a bit harder and do a bit more, because they also have to take care of their families, and they have extra responsibilities that males don't have. So, but I think the situation is similar here. I've spoken to some of the women, and I think the situation is very similar here.
It's well known that, for example, in Spain, women are increasingly joining the scientific career, and even at a faster rate than men. But they don't do so equally in all the areas. For example, in my case, in my research group, in the soil water conservation research group, we are around 30% of the researchers, we are women only, in comparison with other research groups that almost 50% are women. In your case, is the same situation in all the research areas in your country? There are any more male-oriented research fields or not?
Agriculture has been mainly male-dominated for many years, although agriculture is done by women in large parts of Africa, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. But yes, like plant breeding, we have about half women, half male, half female. So in that case, it's quite balanced. But like in the others, like animal science, it tends to be more male-dominated. So some areas in agriculture still tends to be male-dominated.
How many mechanical engineers have you seen as women?
Very little.
Very little.
Very little.
Because they think like, oh, it's a man that works on the car engine. Yeah. It's a man that must work on the car engine, not a woman. So we have few mechanical, even in Ghana, very few girls go into mechanical engineering.
Very few here.
You can find a few of them also into electrical engineers, that kind of. But when it comes to medicine,
many.
Nursing,
you know? Yeah.
There are so many girls.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be a way to change our mind into that, into our mentality. But maybe also a little in our inner, very inner being.
In our inner nature, because to be more caring, to do things that you tend to
can
help.
you imagine somebody comes to your home and your girl and so this my girl is a mechanical engineer?
Well,
an African in Africa,
it doesn't sound good.
It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound
well,
good.
that's something you have to work about.
There is a huge difference between women in industry and women in research. The thing is, women in research has approximately the same rights and the same duties as men. But when it came to production, when it came to industry, everything is changed because the majority are men. Yeah, there is a lot of women, but the authority and the decision makers are men. Maybe this is common not only in Africa, maybe all over the world because they have the most authority. You can say that you find one effective woman in front of 10 effective men or have decision maker or authority. So we have a large ratio of women against men, but how effective are they is the point.
Sometimes the company prefer men's more than women.
You have this problem, okay? So companies prefer, okay?
That's true. Okay. Sometimes announced about something, unemployment.
Yeah.
But make a condition, we are prefer men's.
Really, in this way.
Really.
Now at least here is forbidden to say that we prefer a woman or a man.
Maybe,
at least.
Maybe sometimes don't write that, but when you make a meeting with the company or the industry, they told we prefer to be a man because it is a hard work.
Okay, so with the idea that we have on charge of our places, our homes, and okay.
So many women prefer to work in scientist, research, in a research, because it is more easier.
Yeah.
This restriction is not found.
Because the government, okay, manage these places in the science, and then they cannot choose man or woman, okay?
No. In the science
area, no, there is no restriction. Okay.
And also many women teach in the university, for all kinds of faculties, faculty of science, engineering, everything. But this problem only in industrial.
Okay.
Because you know, in industry you can work
maybe
in the
12
night,
hours,
in
sure.
the night and in the morning at any time. Call you coming to repair something.
And what about the salaries? The salaries are better in the companies or in the
company? It's
in
more
of
large.
Okay.
I think we have no problem with women in science in Egypt, but there are several other issues. The number of women in industry is less than the number of women in academia. Maybe because the industry must change its point of view, that women want more timing or may want more conditions if she will become a mother or a wife or something like that.
Yeah, I understand.
It's the difference, that's all. But before marriage, I think the women like the men.
Okay.
They have enough time to work.
At least in my situation, I have been working in a company for 2 years and now I'm working here at the university. I never saw any difference between the salaries between women and men. But this is my own experience. I don't have any further information to
And
tell
there
you
is enough law about maternity leave and so on?
Things are improving. I think that nowadays we have both maternity and paternity leave. So
Paternity and maternity, nice.
Yeah, we have both. Yeah, I was a father a few years ago and I enjoy that paternity leave. And I think that things are getting more and more balanced. So the situation of the women is slowly but improving.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have paternity leave. In my country, the laws are very nice with respect to maternity leave, but we miss paternity leave. Yeah, we have to have the second choice because sometimes we need cooperation between both mothers and fathers.
It's quite different. You know, the two societies are really different, quite apart. The gap is really there. You know, this environment is quite serene and, you know, you have facilities. The very first day I had an office, there is an internet, you know, so there is light. Unlike over there, sometimes you come out from your house, you want to walk, you go to the office, there is no light, there is no internet. You know, you feel frustrated the whole day and what you are set out to do that day, you cannot achieve it. But here, there is everything that can help you do your research and do it well.
Because here it's much easier. I get on a train, a tram, I'm at the office. There I have to get into traffic, then, you know, there's auto border, there's so many cars, so many everything. Then you juggle through that to get to office on time.
Which is more easy in Africa, to develop molecular biology techniques or cell culture, which is much cheaper, but you require, you may have some problems of contaminations or both. Is it possible?
None of them.
No?
None of them, because as I thought, molecular biology needs expensive reagents. Reagents who cannot be keep at room temperature. We need freezer -20. You need -80 freezer. So no, the equipment are very expensive. And also cell culture also, we have a lot of contamination because in Africa we are in tropical areas. So we have also a lot of contamination about doing cell culture and something else.
We don't have glider in Senegal. Maybe some partner, when they come to do some survey, they bring their, when they go back, they keep it with them. After my stay in Plokan, I want to develop oceanography part in my research center because I don't have all the PhD or something who can help me. Maybe what I want to do for my country is develop this disciplinary. My name is Lal Kunta. I'm a PhD in physical oceanography, climate change and ocean modeling. I'm hosting to Plokan, the platform oceanic of Canary Island, to do my research in the impact of climate change in marine ecosystem. I was always passionate about physics in the beginning. And it's when I were in undergraduate school, I wanted to do hydraulic, like to work with science related to water. But after my master degree, I did a master in collaboration between Senegal and French collaborator, and that's where I discovered ocean, and I was passionate about ocean, and I wanted to know more about that. I'm the first woman in ocean science in the laboratory. Now we have another PhD student. She's in Paris.
In Zambia, there is a very big gap when it comes to relating to your lecturers. It's like there's so much disrespect gap that you cannot go there and interact with your lecturers and say, this is what I want to do. So it's something you feel like it's not achievable because these people are like so far from you.
My name is Brenda Navomba. I come from Zambia, but currently in South Africa.
And I chose to carry out my research at the Institute of Astrophysics of Canary. I am a radio astronomer, and I'm glad that I spent 6 months here because I have been able to gain enough knowledge in optical astronomy. Currently, I am attending the European Astronomy Society meeting that's happening in Valencia, Spain. When I was an undergraduate in doing my Bachelor of Science in Physics, I happened to attend my first ever academic workshop. That was the IHY Cinder workshop, and it was held in Zambia. It was the first international conference that I attended. But the time I went to that conference and interacted with my youngsters who were doing PhDs in astrophysics, I said, oh my God, so I can also do it as well. So those are the most important things that I picked from my first ever academic conference, and I'm happy that I attended that conference because it has changed my life.
In 2009, I was invited to Lusaka, Zambia, actually to Livingstone, Zambia for a conference, and there I met 5 amazing Zambian undergraduate students. One of them was Brenda Lumumba, who now watching her journey, we became friends instantly with the 5 girls. And I was already doing my outreach in astronomy, but yeah, watching her journey and seeing how she's accomplished everything she has in the last 10 years has been really nice. It's also been very exciting to meet with her again this year at the conference and to see how she's been celebrated. I'm very excited to see that I may have played a very small role in inspiring her to go into astronomy. So yeah, well done, Brenda.
With the help of the Mujeres for Africa, I have started an initiative in Zambia to actually introduce science and astronomy to the young people meaning that secondary school children who have no much idea or knowledge on science careers, and help in the development of science as well as astronomy in Zambia.
¿Por qué la ciencia para? ¿Qué representa la ciencia para...?
Para mí, la ciencia es el instrumento fundamental que te da las capacidades para avanzar hacia el futuro en todo. En el ámbito del conocimiento, en el ámbito del desarrollo, en el ámbito del progreso, en lo personal, en lo político, en lo económico, en todo, ¿no? Te abre ventanas, te abre espacios. Conoces personas,
sí, la verdad
es decir, que eso también el conocimiento transmitido por científicas que ya llevan años estudiando temas que tú empiezas, es decir, para mí es el todo, la ciencia representa el todo de los avances además que tenemos que hacer las mujeres, sobre todo, porque no nos han tenido en cuenta en la ciencia, hemos estado poco y yo creo que tenemos muchísimo que aportar.
We need to encourage our girls so that they will become more interested in science. Because you find out that these days, a lot of them are not just interested.
Of course.
I don't know why they are not interested. Some of them think that science is so hard that they may not be able to pass it or understand it. Yeah. So what we need to do is to continuously talk to them about it, make them to see the beauty of it, yes, motivate them about the subject they need to do so that they can become more science inclined. Otherwise, we will have a lot of our girls withdrawing from science.
Yeah, and I also think that for those who have a few difficulties, we can offer some kind of tutorials.
Tutorials. Yes, you are right, Prof.
That will also help them.
Yes, it is
really
good.
help them.
I think
Because
we need to
some
do
of
that.
these science difficulties has to do with who is teaching the subject.
The subject, yes, you are
If
right.
the teacher teaching the subject doesn't
not
make
make
it
it
interesting,
Then the students
Let's say an encouraged message to our girls. What would you say to them?
I would like to say to girls who want to pursue a career in STEM. First, as I told, will and determination. Nothing in life is easy. They have to trust themselves.
Okay, girls, I mean, we are researchers. We are engineers and researchers.
It's very important that more women are involved in science, and that we also train the girls and show how science is important in life, and to encourage our young generation to be involved in our field.
Just keep going, even there is a difficulties, even there is a barriers, and just usually remember that you have to have your own message in life.
science is not as abstract that you think about. Science is life. So we work with things. We work with things that change what goes on in the world. So science is not so abstract and boring like you think it is. It's very interesting. So I'm encouraging every girl to come and join the train.
Please, don't put limits on yourself. This is my message.
You can make a wonderful career out of it, a very rewarding and really nice career.
Vous voulez devenir comme ça?
Moi, je veux être comme ça. Moi, ça, comme ça. Moi, ça.
So all girls around the world, no limits, go for science.
Because science needs you. You only have to work hard and believe in yourself, and don't listen too much on what other people are saying. You know yourself better.
If we did it, you can do it. Come and join us and be part of this wonderful science community.
Moi, je voulais être elle. Moi, je veux être celle-là.
How is it that you became a mathematician? How did you decide it?
When I was younger, I like very more to do mathematics.
Okay.
To solve problem, to do calculation. And so I have a good result in mathematics.
But this is when you were in the high school, like 14, 15, as a girl.
No, the primary school.
Even 6, 7.
I start to do mathematics, to have a good result in mathematics.
Okay.
And so I continue in the other cycle.
Okay.
Comment je le nomme? D3, passant par C, et parallèle à D1. Et vous voyez ici, c'est droite D3, et les séquences à la droite D2, parce que le point d'intersection, c'est le point C. Donc on peut utiliser en même temps l'axiome qui dit qu'il existe 3 points non alignés et l'axiome des parallèles, ou on peut utiliser directement l'axiome des parallèles pour la...
On a fini!
I really hope that we will reach some point when everyone will be able to study what they want independently of the gender, of the race, of the country where they birth.
Yeah, definitely. I think you have made a very good point. I also believe race, gender should not limit someone to do what they are interested in doing. I think opportunities should be given to every person, and it's up to that person to actually decide what they want to actually do in their lives, their career, and in anything that they try to choose in life. Yeah.
I have not only struggling against equations, solutions, and mathematics, but also to create this peaceful atmosphere and good environment, honest environment to do research for all people, for all humanity. As much as the person is doing good things, he has to be respected without considering neither nationality or gender or anything else. So struggling because of this gender equality, because also of scientific level everywhere, even if we are coming from a developing country, makes me exactly like the hot de la Mancha. I don't want whether I can one day reach this level to create a committee, international thing, only to protect people, researchers coming from developing country, for their honesty, for their research, especially for women.
Yes, I like my daughter to be a scientist. Yes, I like her to be a scientist. And I know it is not easy field, but she can do it. Yeah, she can do it.
My daughter is an engineer now, and I want to see her be the top of what she can be. Not because she's female, just because she has the brains.
Science by Women surge como un desafío, como una apuesta delante del escepticismo de la comunidad científica española, que no se podía creer que en África se hiciese ciencia de alto nivel y por parte además de mujeres, de investigadoras africanas. El primer paso fue involucrar a los mejores centros de investigación españoles. Con un cierto escepticismo sí creyeron en el programa y gracias a ellos también este programa ha nacido, ha prosperado y sigue prosperando.
La primera convocatoria de Ellas Investigan contó con 5 centros y 8 investigadoras. Hasta el momento, 150 científicas han venido a los 30 centros asociados con los que trabajamos. Todas sus investigaciones tienen un impacto directo en sus comunidades.
Soy Ana Fumarola, directora del programa Science by Women en la Fundación Mujeres por África.
Soy Tania Tena, técnica del programa Science by Women en la Fundación Mujeres por África.
This staff look into the camera.
Sofina, you are a production or what?
Yeah.
You are working in a production.
He has to pay us for acting. Your bill is $1 million.
My bill?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wants some
bill.
refund or something.
Moi Siamboka, oui la femme africaine, femme forte, femme du monde, femme médecin, femme ingénieure, femme scientifique. Moi Siamboka, haha. Siamboka, basia makasi.